They win again, 6 in a row for the Penguins. This is getting like, I don't want to say it's the 04 Steelers where they just won every week and it was ho-hum, but replacement parts, doesn't matter who it is, where it is, what the adversity seems to be.
10 out of 6, it's 5 in a row, right?
I thought it was 6. I think they're going for 7 tonight.
10 out of 11. I mean, regardless, they had 10 rostered players out of the lineup with injuries, add 2 more in with suspensions, Ken. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind, if you take the 10 injured guys and the 2 suspended guys, you've got the nucleus of a playoff team in the league. Just add some other parts to it, and yet they keep winning. And I honestly think that, part of it is if you bring one guy up here or there, you can get by with it. They're bringing up so many of them, but I think it does show a little bit of the depth of the organization. But these guys want to play at this level, so they're coming up here and they're shot out of cannons. There's a lot of team speed. They play the same system as they do in Wilkes-Barre, but I just think these guys, it's a rare, I think there were some disappointed guys that went back to Wilkes-Barre after training camp. There's not a lot of room on this roster, and this is a rare opportunity, and they're killing themselves to take advantage of it.
You're right, as often is the case, by the way. It is 5. They lost to the Bruins. They'll go for 6 tonight. Okay, I'm ahead of myself. Well,
How'd you figure that out while I was talking?
There's a little schedule over there.
Oh, you dog, you. Okay. I thought you were looking at me.
Is there anything to take? Is this a part of the season where this will pay off for them in crunch time? A lot of these faces and names that we're seeing will not be a part of the team. I'm sure they hope when the playoffs come around. But
you figure 1 or 2 may have to be. There's always going to be somebody hurt, and it is valuable playing time. I mean, one of the big gripes last year was Simone Dupre didn't get enough playing time during the season, and then when they needed him late in the year, he wasn't prepared. I don't want to make last night sound like – they blew a 3-1 lead in the third period, and you saw some defensive mistakes from young defensemen that you would expect Dupre, Dumoulin, that you would expect to see, even Ollie Mata. But that resulted in goals. But still, they figured out a way to win. And, you win with Brandon Sutter scoring 2 big goals. I mean, this isn't like Sidney Crosby pulls you out of the fire again.
Which is one of those guys I think this could have a lasting impact on. Could Sutter be relied upon here a little more than he normally is? Picks up his offensive game a little bit. We're seeing Vitali have a little more of an offensive role on his wing. So will those things have lasting impact? And the defensive group, Niskanen and Mata. Niskanen played almost 30 minutes last night. This, at some point, will be your third defensive pairing if all goes well. And these guys are an excellent 1-2 right now. Well,
I think the biggest impact that it has, Ken, is that late in the year, when it comes time for Ray Shero to do his tweaking and tinkering, which he always does, and to my estimation, does a great job of. It doesn't always work out on the ice, but that's more, to me, on the players and the coaches. I mean, last year was unbelievable what he did. What I think here is it gives you some options. I'm not in favor of trading a lot of these young guys away. This is the future, and the future looks pretty bright for a long period of time. But I think, and I'm not saying trade Matt Niskanen, but there was a lot of talk about trading him and saving some of that salary in the offseason. When you've got these young guys coming up and producing, maybe you can trade a young guy. Maybe you can trade one of the older guys because you now have faith in these young guys. They've proven they can play at this level. And I think it just gives you some options come February and March when you might want to rearrange things a little bit to strengthen yourself down the stretch.
No, Evgeny Malkin again tonight, as is expected with the Minnesota Wild coming in.
Neal's back tonight, though.
James Neal's back. So they'll get a few parts steadily.
Scuderi late next week, probably. Letang's ready to come back pretty soon.
Exactly. So 51 points there, not even to the midway point, and a nice cushion, the 3-point edge in the conference right now for the number 1 overall seed. And
Boston plays Buffalo tonight, and they do have, Boston does have 2 games in hand on the Penguins. They have the 3rd most points in the league, and Pierre Maguire last night was talking about their special teams quotient. Maybe somebody out there remembers it, but I can't remember ever them having as good a power play and penalty kill together at the same time. They've had some great power plays over the years. They've had some good penalty killing over the years, but they have them both at the same time. I mean, whether they're shorthanded or have the man advantage, even it took a long time for a penalty to be called in that game last night. But the Rangers had to be worried the minute they had the guy in the box.
Good times here for the holiday season. See if they can keep it going. The Penguins, and we'll be talking about them every day here at TribLIVE.com. Ken Laird and Guy Junker.